Hi everyone, Drew with Chorbie here. I'm at a customer's lawn and their big complaint right now is that the lawn doesn't look very good, that it needs to be cut better, but they have a bi-weekly mowing schedule and they also have a fertilization and weed control service which encourages the grass to grow a whole bunch. So it's been cut a week ago and it's already in some areas 8 inches tall, the grass, after just 1 week. Most of it's above 4 inches tall. This is because the fertilizer and all the rain and water and the high heats in the summer have encouraged the grass to just keep growing and growing and growing, and a bi-weekly service is just not going to be enough to keep up with the amount of growth. So if you ever see something like this and you think that the lawn needs to be cut better, you're having complaints and it doesn't look good, you're gonna have to switch to a weekly service with all the fertilization and the watering. So right now, in my opinion, this lawn doesn't look too good and the money is getting wasted on the fertilizer because they're not keeping up with the mowing. Just remember, if you're gonna care for your Bermuda grass and you want fertilization, weed control, if you're applying any fertilizer during the summer with high levels of watering, rain or irrigation, you're gonna want to have it cut every week. Otherwise, it's just not gonna look good at all. I'm going to go ahead and mow this yard today just because I want it to look better and I want to illustrate the difference that a weekly service would do compared to a bi-weekly service. This lawn only being cut every 2 weeks is not going to be enough. As you can see, I have the mower on its highest setting, 3.5, and this is what it looks like when you mow it at the highest setting possible. Bermuda grass, you can't cut it too short in one pass on the mower because it'll reach the stolon part of the grass and you're not supposed to remove all the leaves on the grass, otherwise it's going to look brown and patchy and potentially stress the grass out enough to kill it. So if you have a bi-weekly service and you're getting the lawn cut at the highest setting, the grass keeps growing, what more are you to do? So I'm gonna lower it just 1 notch, go to 3 with it, get everything cleaned up for you, and see what it looks like at the end. You can see how much growth is happening here by all the grass clippings accumulating on the sidewalk here. When you notice this much grass clippings afterwards, even after you're mowing at pretty much the highest setting the lawnmower has, it's too much growth too quickly, and you got to get that taken care of. Otherwise, you're going to see stripping and patterns and grass accumulating on top of the lawn. It's not the best look, so don't get a bi-weekly service. Another thing with the bi-weekly service is this uneven pattern here. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but it's right here. See how that's taller than the rest of the grass? I didn't do anything different here. What the issue is the grass has stolons that are rigid inside, right? When the lawnmower wheels pass over it, the stolon is so rigid that it'll squish and bend the grass. Once you leave, a couple hours from now, those stolons, they'll straighten back up and you'll have a stripe where the lawnmower wheel was. Even if you overlap the mowing pattern, it doesn't matter what you do, if the grass gets to a certain height, the stolons are so rigid that they'll bend during the mow, and then you won't notice until after you're gone. It takes maybe an hour or so for the stolons to tighten back up, and then you'll be left with the strip, like I said. So let's finish up here. I gotta do the weed eating still, and I also have to blow, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. Here's what it looks like all finished. There's still debris on top of the grass. I want to mow it again, but I'm not going to. This shows you all the reasons why you don't want to do bi-weekly service with fertilizer, weed control, irrigation, rainwater in the summer with Bermuda grass. It's just too much. You can't keep up with it. And if you do keep up with it, you'll have to mow the yard twice. I've been here for over an hour. This type of yard should take about 30 minutes if everything went well. I mowed it at the highest setting because I had to, and still look at it. There's some striping. I mowed this section 3 times and still there's striping. So let that be a lesson. If you care about your grass and you want it to look really good, never ever say to your mowing service provider, I want it to be mowed at the highest setting possible. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get a bi-weekly cut with fertilization, weed control. If you care about your yard and you're buying fertilization and weed control from a service provider, do not mow your yard every 2 weeks, especially in the summer and with lots of rain. It's not going to look good. Even though I say it still looks pretty good, but not as good as it could have looked. So hopefully this customer decides that they want to switch to a weekly service, at least during the summer, because if they don't, it's just going to keep getting out of control, and we're going to have to force them to do an hourly rated service every time they want their yard mowed. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. If you live in the DFW area and you do need lawn mowing services or fertilization, weed control, contact Chorbie. We are the best.